writing and publishing, which is, I think, we all want to eventually get into this and get ourselves published. I think that's, we don't sit down and write for our own enjoyment. We want to have others share the benefits of our brilliance. So I think we're all interested in what Earl has to say, and I'm not going to steal Edmund's glory. He can tell you how long he's been at it, how he got started, and so forth and so on. But this is Earl Wynn.
Thank you, Noel.
I'll move some.
My name is Earl Wynn. I go under the pen name of E.S. Wynn, my primary pen name. I have a couple dozen others, but I'm the author of 19 published novels, hundreds of short stories under a number of different names. I own my own publishing company, Thundering Publishing, of which there are over 20 imprints, which are all exclusively online because I believe that's the future. And that's one of the things I'm going to talk to you guys about tonight is the future of publishing. Anyway, one of my websites or imprints that I have set up is I've got 3 daily fiction sites, which means they put out a new short story every single day, and I have the addresses for those up here. New short story, literally, every day. Different short story for each website. One of them is Weird Year, which is experimental fiction. One of them is Yesteryear Fiction, which is fantasy. And the third one is Daily Love, which is romance fiction and poetry. So I also have a number of other contributor platforms set up as imprints of Thundering Publishing. Things like Fractal Novels, which is someone plants its novel seed, and then other people build off it different directions, creating a fractal novel tree, which is fun. Things like that. I also have a number of educational resources that I've done. Revital It, which is aimed at a high school crowd. It's called Literature That Doesn't Suck. That's the tagline to try to get kids involved. I teach classes both online and offline and through Skype, which is a video phone conferencing service. I'm a voice actor with 15 albums, a BA in English, and I'm 26 years old. So I would like to talk to you guys about the future of publishing and art in the digital age, which is, we literally are at the edge of that. I believe that the old model of publishing is still relevant, but it's on its way out, and that the new model of publishing, which is almost exclusively online, is on its way in. We're riding the crest of that now. So, let's see here. The old system worked well at the time because in a pre-millennial, pre-internet, pre-digital age, books are the most efficient means of transmitting information besides possibly audio, and that requires an advanced infrastructure, which involves a lot of different people in the process, whereas in our current age, a post-millennial, post-digital age, or I guess more like within the digital age, that system is being currently supported by notions of artificial scarcity, which is essentially there is no shortage of material when it comes to art. E-books make the unlimited printing of unlimited copies completely reasonable, and readers like this, which do not shoot light into your eyes, but actually take reflected light like a normal page does, causing no glare. You can read it in the sunlight. You know, these allow you to essentially have ebooks as normal work without the painful eye thing that you tend to get from staring at a monitor for too long. So, yeah, this I'm going to talk to you guys about the new system, which is beyond the notion of artificial scarcity, which is required to keep the current infrastructure alive. So, I believe that we're in the midst of a total return to a ground level economy within the industry of writing, and the rebirth of the cottage industry within art. What does that mean? That means that we're looking at the birth of an age where we're going to see more and more a direct relationship between the artist and the consumer. More and more, you're going to see people self-publishing, and it's not going to be stigmatized. already there are a number of larger authors who have started self-publishing, and it has been seen as, you know, a step in the right direction. This causes a reduction of middlemen, because suddenly you don't have this massive publishing infrastructure to support anymore of all the people involved in the production of the book, the editing of the book, the screening of the book. You're going to see a lot more people who are polymaths in a sense. They wear a lot of hats, but they make a lot of money for it. You know, if you're selling a book, if you think about it this way, if you're selling a book for, you know, 6x9 trade paperback for, you know, $11.95, which is a pretty good going rate, and you're selling it through a publishing company, a lot of people have to get paid for every single copy of that goes out. Whereas if you're the only one behind it, you're doing all the editing, you're doing all the production, you're doing the cover design, and there are a lot of print-on-demand services that make it where there's literally zero cost. If you put everything together yourself, and you know you edit it or you have friends edit it, you literally have a book produced for zero cost, available for zero cost to you, and the only thing it literally is just that you're paying for is the service that you have, you know, online or offline, that allows you to process your customers' money. Like for example, if you're selling ebooks online, services like PayPal, which are essentially it's a service that allows people to use their credit card to buy digital goods. And if they take a percentage, if you're selling your ebooks through PayPal, you're paying the percentage for the use of the service which processes a credit card, and that's it. Literally, that's your only cost. When you're talking print copies, which are still viable, definitely, and will probably still be viable for the next 50 years, print copies through print-on-demand services also can be a zero-cost option in terms of setup. And there are a number of sites out there, so I'm not going to plug any one in particular. If you want a list of sites, I've got 2 or 3, but there are dozens now, literally dozens of print-on-demand sites, which you can use to get copies of printed copies of your work, not just out there for people to purchase, you know, a printed copy for themselves, but also printed copies for your own stock that you can, you know, take to bookstores. And a lot of the major bookstores, a lot of the major chains, you can contact directly. And if you have a little bit of a reputation, and I'm going to go into how to do that, they'll usually, you fill out a form, they'll usually pick up copies of your book and carry it, especially if you tell them they're what you want. So, but I've done that all over California. So. Yeah, I'm a local author. I'm from California. So. But let's see here. But like I said, the people say that, oh, it won't happen, you know, this isn't going to happen. A number of the opponents to the idea that we're looking at a transformation into a digital direct-to-consumer model will tell you that it's not possible. There's too many hats to be worn in a sense. When you look at all the different people involved in the publishing company, there's too much work. One person can't do all that. One person can't design the cover. One person can't do the formatting. One person can't do the editing. I'm here to tell you that you can, and it just takes, you know, a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of elbow grease. And the payoff of that is, like I said, you're literally getting the money for every single one of those jobs that you do. The cover designer, you don't have to pay. The editor, you don't have to pay because you're that person. That kind of stuff. You want to make sure that it's professional looking, but even that is possible. Don't think that, you know, just because you're one person and it's your product that you can't create a professional looking product. I've seen plenty of self-published authors who have created professional looking products through print-on-demand services and paid nothing, and literally only they just keep bringing in the money. So the current model as it stands of writing a book, going out, taking that book in its raw state, and, you know, literally just sending it to a number of large publishers like Penguin and Bantam. Is the chance of being published like that is like being struck by lightning or winning the lottery at this point. A lot of agents that I've seen, especially high-powered agents, will tell you that you have to already have 6 published books under your belt before they'll even consider you. You know, things like that. When you're looking at smaller publishers, smaller publishing houses, they're a little more hungry. They don't have as many submissions sent to them. you do get in, let's say you get struck by lightning here, say you win the lottery. Traditional publishers often require the author to surrender, especially first-time authors, to surrender all rights, and they give only a 6% royalty, less the sum of the advance, meaning that if they give you a $5,000 advance, you don't see a dime until that 6% royalty adds up to $5,000, and the publishing company will still own all your rights. And they often, such contracts often include clauses which say guarantees for future books and the right to own those, sequel rights, things like that. So if you publish one book through them and then you're not happy with the way that they're handling it, or they decide to sit on it for 5 years, and you write a sequel, you want someone else to pick that up, sorry, you've signed a contract, they own the sequel. They're typically looking for prolific authors who are going to be writing for, who write 10 or more books a year, because they're looking for a solid investment. They're looking for an author who is not just quality, and I'm sure everyone here is quality because you guys are all in a group talking amongst each other, but they're also looking for an investment that, like I said, is a long-term investment. They want an author who's going to produce a lot of books, who's going to, basically give them a lot of product to put out there. Well, how do you beat the system? How do you, in this period when it is so difficult to get published through a large house, how do you beat the system? Well,